Hello there, my name is Ismaus and welcome to another Blender tutorial. And today let's look at how to model this bag, but not in the way you would think. We're going to be using the cloth simulator to model this object so that we can get those deformations you see there. Yeah, so what I did here, I added a plane and then I subdivided it because we need that for the cloth simulator to kind of give us good wrinkles. And I deleted some of the faces so that we only have lines like that. And when you have only edges like that and you turn on sewing in your cloth simulator, it will kind of push those vertices together, like sew the two meshes like that. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm going to be removing some of the faces there. You can see now we are sewing the different portions. I don't know how they're called in I'll call them garments. So the different garments together, and you can see where we have no faces but only edges, those are going to be our seams. And as long as you have the sewing check mark checked, you will have they will be stitched together with a seam. And yeah, so I tried scaling the mesh down so that we can have wrinkles while this simulation is running, but I wasn't getting enough wrinkles as I was hoping to get. So what I did is added shape keys to kind of deform the mesh as the cloth modifier as the cloth simulation is taking place. You can see I'm adding some keyframes here so that we get some wrinkles being created by the deformation of the shape keys. I also reduced the gravity because it was pushing the cloth really fast, so I wanted it to be slowly pushed down. I can see I'm also changing between different presets, cloth presets, to get more different types of wrinkles. And yeah, so I realized that just one shape key deformation would not be enough. I also wanted these seams to be pushed in a little bit, so that's what I'm doing here. But I'm also making sure that I'm doing this using shape keys so that I can be able to animate that as you see exactly what I'm doing here. You can see now we're getting better wrinkles, and the seams are now even more visible here. I also wanted to add a few seams at the bottom here, so that's why you see I'm removing some of the faces there. And yeah, so you can really get good deformation, create very nice wrinkles using this technique, and it's faster than sculpting or modeling everything from scratch. Yeah, so I also wanted where you see the zip to be pushed in a little bit. That's why you see me adding another shape key. Every time I want a different deformation, I add a shape key and animate that so that it kind of influences the wrinkles just a bit, and you can see what we are getting here. I also added a force. That's that round thing you're seeing there inside. It's a force that is kind of pushing the faces or the cloth inside out like that. And here I added another shape key just to push the top part just a bit down, like you see the same deformation we have in the cloth, sorry, in the bag. Yeah, it's a nice way to model, and kind of creates more realistic shapes. Here, what you saw me there, I applied the shape keys so that I can resimulate the entire mesh. Let me here you can see after you get the shape you want, you can apply the shape key by just removing them from the shape keys list, and make sure you also apply the cloth simulator as well, and then you can reapply the cloth simulator so that it can start from where the deformations are. You can see now these wrinkles are already baked in. I just need to have added the cloth simulator again so that I can capture more wrinkles. But I want to only deform the top parts because I already like the bottom wrinkles, so I'm adding a white painting so that I can only influence the top vertices, as you can see there. Yeah, so I can paint out the wrinkles you already like, so that they are not affected with the new cloth simulation you have added. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. So I'm happy with the bottom wrinkles. I just want to simulate the top wrinkles only. And yep. And again, after you're done with the wrinkles, after you're done with what you like, the applying the modifier doesn't work when you have shape keys, so you have to remove the shape keys after you simulate and then apply the wrinkles. So now I'm trying to do that seam you see up here, the seam around the bag where you see the logo. That's what I'm trying to add. And I'm done with the cloth simulation, so right now it's just adding a few details. So I selected that middle loop and then added beveled it to add an extra loop that I can kind of push out to add that seam you see there. So the bevel shortcut is Ctrl B, and the selecting an entire loop like that is using Alt, and then double click on the loop you want to add. So I add a solidify modifier so that I can have some thickness to the bag, but I didn't want the entire mesh to have that thickness, so I only added the fill rim option so that I don't fill the entire mesh. So you can see, yeah. And I think that's it for the most part. Everything else from here, I just started adding in some sculpting using. I used the sculpt brush to add in a few wrinkles where I wanted them, but the most wrinkles were done using the cloth simulator, as you have already seen. And here I'm just adding a few extra edge loops. And again, I wanted to add another solidify modifier so that I can simulate a bit of thickness without having it go everywhere. That's why you see I added a vertex group that I can have as the solidify modifier only apply to that vertex group, so that it's not applied to the entire thing. Now I'm just separating the different elements because I remember when we were trying to do the cloth simulator, we added some edges that didn't have faces connected to them, so that we can sew the different segments and have a seam between where they're connected. So by separating these segments, I'm trying to delete any extra edges that don't have faces to them that were created in the process of sewing the different segments segments together. So yeah, and by separating the objects, it's easier for me to kind of see where those segments are. If you're following this tutorial, you will see what I mean here. These are some of the vertices that were created while adding those sewing edges. So you have to go in and remove them. By merging, you can try merging by distance, or just find them and select them one by one. Anyway, everything else here is pretty easy. But if you want to watch the complete time lapse, you can just go to my second channel. I'll be leaving a link in the description so that you can watch the video and continue from there. But the more complicated parts I've already explained. It had to do with cloth simulation, and I think since we are done with that, everything else is just tweaking a few things. Here I'm just adding that kind of seam there using I just duplicated an edge and converted it into a curve, and gave the curve a bevel in the curve settings to kind of give it some thickness, and it will just follow the curvature of the deformations of the cloth, like you see there. And now I'm creating these handles. They're very easy to explain, so you can watch the complete time lapse from my second channel. Yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next tutorial.